Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Korean ebook before it's gone.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. In this video, we'll be talking about 10 lines you need for introducing yourself. Let's begin. 제 이름은 민준입니다. My name is 민준. So like this way you can say 제 이름은, my name is, your name, 입니다, to be. My name is Jae-hui, so I can say 제 이름은 재휘입니다. Or with my family name, I can say 제 이름은 이재휘입니다. So when you introduce yourself in Korean, make sure you say family name first and then your first name. 서울에 살고 있습니다. I live in Seoul. So you can put any city's name. For example, if you're living in New York City, you can say 뉴욕시에 살고 있습니다. I live in New York City. 27살입니다. I'm 27 years old. The basic way to say 27 is 27. But when you talk about your age, for example, 27 years old, you have to use native Korean numbers like in 27살, 27 years old, not 27살. Let me pick up some numbers. For example, if you're 30-year-old, you can say 저는 30살입니다. If you are 20 years old, you can say 저는 20살입니다. 한국 사람입니다. I'm from South Korea. 한국 사람입니다. I'm from South Korea, or I am South Korean. So just put your country's name instead of 한국 in this sentence. For example, if you are Chinese, you can say 중국 사람입니다. If you are American, you can say 미국 사람입니다. 중국 means China and 미국 means America. And here you have 사람 means person. So it literally means I'm a person of Korea. I'm a person of China. 교사입니다. I'm a teacher. For example, if you're a teacher, you can say 교사입니다. Or in some way, you can also say 선생님입니다. I'm a teacher. If you are a student, you can say 학생입니다. I'm a student. 독서는 제 취미 중 하나입니다. One of my hobbies is reading. If you like drawing, you can say 그리기는 제 취미 중 하나입니다. Or just to make it simple, you can say 그리기는 제 취미입니다. Which means that my hobby is drawing. 음악 감상을 즐깁니다. I enjoy listening to music. 음악 감상 means listening to music or music listening literally. So you can just put something else. For me, I can say 여행을 즐깁니다. I enjoy traveling. 한국어를 1년째 공부하고 있습니다. I've been learning Korean for 1 year. So if you speak Korean to Korean people in Korea, they will be surprised. I'll be surprised if someone just suddenly talk to me in Korean. Then you get asked, 한국어 얼마나 공부했어요? How long have you studied Korean? And if you just started studying Korean, you can say 한국어를 한 달째 공부하고 있습니다. I've been studying Korean for 1 month. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. Hello, it's nice to meet you. In general, like if you meet someone, before you talk about your name or after you talk about your name, you can say 안녕하세요. 만나서 반갑습니다. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Or if you know the other person is younger than you, or you just want to be a little bit more casual, you can say 안녕 만나서 반가워. koreanclass101.com에서 한국어를 배우고 있습니다. I'm studying Korean at koreanclass101.com. So people ask you where you learn Korean from, and you can proudly say that koreanclass101.com에서 한국어를 배우고 있습니다. Or if you're learning Korean at a language school, you can say that 어학원에서 한국어를 배우고 있습니다. I'm learning Korean at a language school. Okay, that's all 10 lines you need for introducing yourself. Leave some comments and introduce yourself using one of the expressions that we introduced in this video. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, welcome back to Korean Weekly Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 10 Korean foods. 국수, wheat flour noodles. 국수, wheat flour noodles. In Korea, when there's a festival, this is the main dish that you can try. Traditionally, 국수, the wheat flour noodles, was the main dish for party. Like instead of having a lot of meat and everything, in the past people shared the noodle for celebrating someone's birthday or a big event of a family. So in a sentence you can say 그 잔치에 가면 국수를 먹을 수 있습니다. Kimchi, kimchi. So I think this is one of the very famous Korean food around the world. So in Korea, like without kimchi, you cannot call something as a meal. Like so every time whenever you have something, even with pizza, you can find kimchi on the table too. So in a sentence, I can say 우리 엄마는 피자를 먹을 때 김치도 함께 먹습니다. Which means that my mother eats kimchi when she's having pizza. 김치 볶음밥, kimchi fried rice. When I was a kid, like in the morning, my mom is working mother still, like she's working. So she was very busy in the morning. So this kimchi 볶음밥 was the food that she can prepare very easily within 5 minutes. You can sometimes put something like egg on the top of the kimchi 볶음밥 as a topping or something like some different types of meat too. So you can have different flavor for each day. So in a sentence we can say 아침에 바빠서 김치볶음밥을 만들었습니다. Which means that I was busy in the morning, so I made 김치볶음밥, kimchi fried rice. 김치찌개, kimchi stew. So here we have the word kimchi and 찌개, which means stew. So there are actually a lot of types of stew in Korea, and kimchi찌개 is the most popular one. So in a sentence I can say 갈비를 다 먹고 김치찌개를 주문했습니다. That means I ordered kimchi stew after having Korean style barbecue. 냉면, cold noodle soup. 냉면, cold noodle soup. So the way to make this noodle cold is to put shaved ice over the soup. So you can have noodle and shaved ice together. So that's why it's very popular for summer, but for actually any season you can find it at a Korean restaurant. In a sentence we can say 날씨가 더워서 오늘 저녁에는 냉면을 먹을 겁니다. Which means since it's hot today, I'm going to have cold noodle soup for dinner. 된장찌개, 된장 stew or soybean paste stew. The way we make it is kind of similar to how we make kimchi찌개, kimchi stew, but with a different main item inside the soup. 식당에 가서 김치찌개 하나랑 된장찌개 하나를 주문했습니다. Which means that I ordered one kimchi stew and one soybean paste stew at a restaurant. 떡볶이, stir-fried rice cake. 떡볶이, stir-fried rice cake. So here we have the word 떡, which means rice cake, and 볶 means fried. When I was a kid, I loved that because it's spicy and it's sweet. It's very small portion, so you can have it between lunch and dinner. And it's cheap too. So for one person, like it only costs about $1 or 1,000원. In a sentence, I can say 어렸을 때 학교에서 집에 가는 길에 떡볶이를 자주 먹었습니다. Which means that I often had stir-fried rice cake when I was on the way home from school. 라면, ramen. So as you can see, it sounds very similar. Like ramen is the Japanese name of the same food. So we call it as ramen using the word 면, which means noodle. When Korean people say ramen, it means instant ramen, not some kind of Japanese style ramen. So if you find out that there's nothing to eat at home, you can simply just say 편의점에 가서 라면을 사올게, which means that I'll go to a convenience store and buy ramen. 부대찌개, army base stew. 부대찌개, army base stew. So in the past, you could have it only around the army post, but now people love the taste. So you can find the restaurant selling 부대찌개 at every corner of the city and in South Korea. 오늘 점심시간에는 직장 동료들과 부대찌개를 먹었습니다. Which means that I had the army base stew with my coworkers for lunch. 순두부찌개, raw bean curd stew. 순두부찌개, raw bean curd stew. I like the 순두부찌개 because of its texture. Like 순두부 is very soft. It tastes like pudding. So Korean people usually have 순두부찌개 with egg too, to make it a little bit less spicy. So if you don't like something spicy, I think it's kind of good tip to put something like raw egg into the soup so that it can be a little bit less spicy. These days, I think 순두부찌개 is getting more popular, so you can actually find it very easily. 오늘 순두부찌개 먹을래? Do you want to have Robin curd stew today? Okay, that's all words about top 10 Korean foods. I hope you like some of this food and make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요. Hi everyone, welcome back to Korean Weekly Words. I'm Jae-hee. In this video, we'll be talking about 10 must-know math words. Let's begin. 계산하다, calculate. A little means to do calculation because the 계산, the noun means calculation. So if you're bad students, you might want to say that 계산하는 게 싫어요. I don't like calculating. I don't like to calculate. Or you can also say that 계산하는 걸 잘해요. I'm good at calculation. 공식, formulas. There are a lot of formulas in math. So when I was in the junior high and high school, there are a lot of formulas that I had to memorize. So in that case, I could say 고등학교 때 공식을 많이 외웠습니다. I remembered a lot of formulas when I was in high school. But now I forgot most of that. So in that case, you can also say that 공식을 거의 다 잃어버렸습니다. I forgot the most of the formulas. 곱하기, times. In Korean, the way to read a number and something between is the same in English. For example, 3 곱하기 4 is for 3 times 4. Or 5 곱하기 5 means 5 times 5. So you can just replace times with 곱하기 and then read the numbers in Korean way when you have to give the kind of formulas. 나누기, divide. So 나누기 is the same, like just say the number and then 나누기, the number. For example, 10 divide 2 is 10 나누기 2. And you can also say that 8 divide 2 as 8 나누기 2. 더하기, plus. You can find 더하기 as in 2 더하기 5, 2 plus 5, 3 더하기 7, 3 plus 10. 빼기, minus. So for example, you can use it as 3 빼기 1, 3 minus 1, or 4 빼기 2, 4 minus 2. 이다, equal. So when you read numbers and formulas for the math, you can just say something something 이다 to mean equal. So for example, 3 더하기 2는 5이다. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Because we have a different sentence structure, you have to put equals to the end of the sentence and say 이다, as in 2 더하기 5는 7이다. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 소수점, point. For a math, when you want to mean decimal point, you can just say 소수점, but when you read it with numbers, you can just say 점. So for example, 3.2 is 3.2, 5.7 is 5.7. So you don't have to say 소수점 when you read point with numbers. 백분율, percent. When you read the percent as it is, you can just say 백분율. But when you read percent with numbers, you can just say 퍼센트. For example, 10% is 10%, 20% is 20%. So, for example, when something is on sale, you can find some phrase saying 10% sale 중, sale for 10%. 수학, math. There are actually two words to mean math, like 산수 and 수학. 수학 means math in general. 산수 sounds like some simple math that you can learn from the elementary school. So when you see a textbook for elementary school students, it says 산수, but for junior or junior high school students, it says 수학. So when you teach English to elementary school students, make sure you use the word 산수, not 수학. For example, you can say 수학은 언제나 어렵습니다. Math is always difficult. Okay, that's all 10 must-know math words. If you want to know more words about math or other subjects, make sure to visit koreanclass101.com. And we'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
무슨 영화 볼까?
액션 영화 볼까?
에이, 스펜스 영화 볼까?
아니. 만화 영화는?
로맨틱 코미디 볼까?
또?
불고기.
잘 먹겠습니다.
맛있어요.
응, 맛있어.
잘 먹었습니다.
왕가시아 씨?
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 완갈시아입니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 이성호입니다. 반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
저기요, 이것은 뭐예요?
그것은 instant noodles입니다.
한국말로 뭐예요?
한국말로 라면입니다.
예? 뭐라고요? 한 번 더 말해주세요.
라면이요.
정말 미안합니다. 천천히 말해주세요.
라면이요.
아, 라면, 인스턴트 누들스. 고맙습니다.
한국어 사전 있어요?
아니요. 영어 사전 있어요.
추리 소설 있어요?
미스테리? 없어요.
판타지 있어요?
아니요. 공상과학 소설 있어요.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, we'll be talking about top 10 phrases tourists should never use. Let's begin. 역겨워. That's disgusting. 역겨워. That's disgusting. Yeah, I think there might be some part of the culture that you don't like. But if you just say 역겨워, that's disgusting, I think that just shows how much you're not ready to accept a different culture. I think that's not good to say. 우리나라가 낫다. My country is better. 우리나라가 낫다. My country is better. In Korean, it's better to say 우리나라 when you want to say my country. 내 나라 is the phrase meaning my country literally, but it sounds a little bit unusual. So 우리나라, which means our country, is better to say when you want to say my country. 차라리 집에 가고 싶다. I'd rather be back home. 차라리 집에 가고 싶다. I'd rather be back home. I sometimes think like that. I don't say it. I think that's the point. You can think like, I want to go back home because, I'm tired. Because when you take a vacation for like several months, I think there will be the moment that you're no longer taking anything new. So I think you can think about it, but saying it to other person, especially to someone who lives in that country, might not a good idea, I believe. 닥쳐. Shut up. 닥쳐. Shut up. Do people use that? Not only for tourists, but also for anyone. I think it's rude to say 닥쳐. There might be some moments that you really have to say, but I don't think it's a good idea to say it often, even though you don't like something. 당신의 문화에 대해 별로 관심 없어요. I'm not very interested in your culture. 당신의 문화에 대해 별로 관심 없어요. I'm not very interested in your culture. I think I heard something like that in the past. I'm not sure where, but it's not good to hear that. Not only about the culture, if someone says this, I think it means something like, he or she is really not interested in anything else but him or herself. So, 그냥 맥도날드 가서 먹자. Let's just eat at McDonald's. 그냥 맥도날드 가서 먹자. Let's just eat at McDonald's. I used to be like that actually. Like when I traveled in 20s, I think I only focused on sightseeing. Like I wanted to make a list of the things to go, things to do, and then do that one by one. Like I remember I was making the plan by minutes, like saying, 7:35, I go there. So since I was super busy to go to place A, B, C, D, E, I really didn't think about having a nice meal. So I usually just went to McDonald's or Burger King's, like that kind of fast food restaurants. And these days I can see the main things about my trip is all about the food. So I think that's kind of the big change in my style for having a trip. 이거 맛이 끔찍해. This tastes awful. 이거 맛이 끔찍해. This tastes awful. If you travel in Korea, I think there might be some food that you might not like. Some Korean people say that because they really like the honesty. I think you can say that when you think the other person's really talk directly. But if your friends in Korea, they are not direct, I think it's better to say something else. Like for example, if you don't like the taste, you can find another food that tastes better and say, 아, 이거 맛있어. This tastes good. And just keep eating it. 호텔에서 하루 종일 있을래? I'm going to spend the day in the hotel. 호텔에서 하루 종일 있을래? I'm going to spend the day in the hotel. I'm this kind of person. I eat, come back to hotel, spend a day, and go out and eat and just come back, I think. It's important to find who is sharing your style together. Like, if your friend really want to go outside and do a lot of activities, I think it's not a good idea to say it in the morning. If you really want to get relaxed at a hotel, I think you can say that. That will be okay. But if you mean something like, I'm tired of trying anything, I'm tired of speaking, their languages, I think it means something mean, like, it means something like, then why are you here? Like, why you spend your money for a trip? So I think it depends on the meaning of the phrase, 호텔에서 하루 종일 있을래? 이거 바보 같아. This is stupid. 이거 바보 같아. This is stupid. That happens to me like when I go to a country and if they follow some different rules. So instead of saying 이거 바보 같아, this is stupid, I think it's better to try to understand what's behind and why they follow that. 이 사람들 미개해. These people are uncivilized. 이 사람들 미개해. These people are uncivilized. I never heard this phrase, so if someone really says that, I think I'll be really shocked. Okay, there's top 10 phrases tourists should never use. I hope you don't use some of the phrases when you travel. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
You are at a train station where you're attempting to buy an express ticket from a ticket machine. Which option should you choose to buy an express ticket? Which option should you choose to buy an express ticket? The option on the bottom left is for an express ticket.
직통,
You are at a train station where you've just bought an express ticket. Which train car, row, and seat number are you in? Which train car, row, and seat number are you in? The ticket says that you're in train car number 1 in seat 8C.
1호차 8시석,
You are at a train station where you're reading the train schedule for an express ticket that you've just bought. On which days are there no express trains running? On which days are there no express trains running? There are no express trains running on public holidays and the third Sunday of every month.
법정 공휴일, 매달 세 번째 일요일.
Trying to learn Korean? Get the lessons that are perfect for you. Click here to get your free lifetime account. You are on a platform at a train station where you're waiting for your train. Suddenly, a message appears on the display. What does the message on the display mean? What does the message on the display mean? The display reads, "The next train will not stop."
다음 열차는 정차하지 않습니다.
You are at a train station where you're looking for the best exit to catch a taxi. Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? You should take the east exit in order to get to the taxi rank.
동쪽 출입구.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hui. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this video, we'll be talking about top 20 words that you need for the beach. Let's begin. 선글라스, sunglasses, sunglasses, sunglasses. 햇빛이 강하면 선글라스를 껴요. If the sunlight is strong, wear the sunglasses. 해변, beach, 해변, beach. So this word has two Chinese characters. One is 해, meaning sea, and 변 is for side. So it literally means seaside. 해변을 거닐고 싶어요. I want to take a walk along the beach. 수영, swimming, 수영, swimming. This word has the Chinese character meaning water, 수. You can find this word 수 in other words that is related to water sports or something about water. For example, 수도, water pipe. So using this word 수영, you can say 수영할 수 있어요? Can you swim? 태양, sun, 태양, sun. And this word, you can use it for more situations, but it's kind of casual or just in general situations. You can use the word 해 instead. So using the word 태양, you can say 눈부신 태양 아래 바다가 빛나요. The sea shines under the brilliant sun. 야자수, palm tree. 야자수, palm tree. It's not common to see 야자수, palm trees in Korea except for the Jeju Island because Jeju is really close to Taiwan and other Southeast Asian countries. You can see palm trees along the road, but not in the Korean peninsula side. So using that word, you can say 제주도에 가면 야자수를 볼 수 있어요. You can see palm trees on Jeju Island. 수영복, swimsuit. 수영복, swimming suit. So for example, if you're shopping and you find something nice, you can ask your friend saying, 이 수영복 어때? How is the swimsuit? 바다, ocean. 바다, ocean. So in Korean, you can find this word 바다 not only in the places near beach, also some places where you can take raw fish. And sometimes you can also see the word ocean following the English word. So using that word, you can say 이번 주말에 바다에 가자. Let's go to the beach this weekend. 안전요원, lifeguard. 안전요원, lifeguard. So here we have the word 안전, meaning safety, and 요원, meaning agents. Altogether, it means lifeguard. 안전 요원에게 도움을 요청하세요. Ask a lifeguard for help. 제트스키, jetski, 제트스키, jetski. In Korean, as you know, jet should be pronounced as 제트. I never had a jet ski in my life, but I want to do that sometimes, but I just feel a little bit scary of doing something in the sea because I'm not good at swimming. But if you want to try jet ski, you can say 제트스키 타러 가자. Let's go for a jet ski ride. 비치 타월, beach towel, 비치 타월, beach towel. Even though we have the word 수건, meaning towel, it's common to say beach towel. Using the word, you can say beach towel 있어? Do you have beach towel? Or like if you want to ask a staff if they have a beach towel, you can also ask beach towel 있어요? Do you have a beach towel? 비치 체어, beach chair, 비치 체어, beach chair. If you go to a very crowded beach in South Korea, like Haeundae, which is in Busan, people will ask you pay for using beach chair, the use of the beach chair. So they might ask you, 비치 체어를 이용하시려면 돈을 내야 됩니다. You have to pay to use the beach chair. Or using that word, you can say, 비치 체어에 앉아 쉬세요. Please take a seat on the beach chair and relax. 모래성, sand castle. 모래성, sand castle. So here we have the word 모래, meaning sand, and 성, meaning castle. I remember I used to make sand castle when I go to beach because I'm not good at swimming. So I prefer to do something on the beach side, not in the sea. In the case, I could say 모래성을 쌓았어요. I built a sand castle. 아이스박스, cooler. 아이스박스, cooler. 아이스박스에 음료수를 넣어가자. Let's bring drinks in the cooler. 조수, tide. 조수, tide. You can say 조수 to mean tide, or like if it's for a casual situation, you can also say the word 파도, which means both tide and wave. 조수는 하루에 2번 밀려온다. The tide flows twice a day. suntan, tan, suntan, tan. So in Korean, if you want to say getting a tan, make sure to say suntan, not just tan. So using the word, you can say suntan하기 좋은 날씨예요. It's good weather to get a tan. 쪼리, flip-flop. 쪼리, flip-flop. There might be some different words to mean flip-flop, but people usually just say 쪼리, even though it sounds a little bit like a slang word. So using that word, you can say 여름에는 쪼리를 신어요. I wear flip-flops in the summer. Suncream, sunscreen. Suncream, sunscreen. So for example, if you want to make sure that your friend put on a sunscreen, you can say 선크림 발랐어? Did you put on sunscreen? Bikini, 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 bikini. These days, I think more and more people wear the swimsuit with long sleeve, like covering most of their body because many people don't want to get a tan. I don't see that many people wearing bikini these days, but using that word, you can say 비키니를 샀어요. I bought a bikini. 구명조끼, life vest. 구명조끼, life vest. 구명조끼를 입으세요. Please wear a life vest. Surfing, 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 surfing. You know, when you see the map, you can see 3 different seas in Korea. Like one is called West Sea, which is very close to China. You don't do any surfing in that West Sea. So people usually go to the East Sea, which is facing to Japan, when they want to try some surfing. I don't think there are many people actually going there. But if you want to try that, you can say 서핑하러 가자. Let's go surfing. So we just checked 20 words you'll need for the beach. I hope you like some of these words. And make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Hi, I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. In this series 한분 한국어, we're going to learn basic Korean expressions. It's super easy and it takes only 3 minutes. First of all, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Korean. There are a few different ways to do it depending on how formal you want to be. Let's first look at an informal way to introduce yourself. 안녕, Amy야. 반가워. Hi, I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. 안녕, Amy야. 반가워. Here, 안녕 means peace, so literally you say peace to say hello in Korean. Next, you can say your name, then add the sentence ending particle, 야. My name is Amy, so I say Amy야. Finally, you say 반가워. 반가워 means nice to meet you. Now you try it. Start by saying 안녕. Then say your name followed by 야. If your name is David, you can say 데이비드야. Finally say 반가워. 안녕 데이비드야. 반가워. Now let's see a formal version. 안녕하세요. Amy예요. 반가워요. Hi, I'm Amy. Nice to meet you. 안녕하세요. Amy예요. 반가워요. What has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these together. First, 안녕 has to change to 안녕하세요. 하세요 is the verb meaning to do. If you add 하세요 next to 안녕, it becomes more formal and polite. 안녕하세요. Next, you can replace the particle 야 with 에요. Both of them are sentence ending particles, and you can put them after nouns. But 야 is informal and 에요 is formal. So if you say Amy예요 instead of Amy야, you can introduce your name in more formal way. Finally, 반가워요. Do you remember how to say nice to meet you in the informal way? 반가워. Here, you can simply add the particle 요 at the end of the verb. Then it becomes formal. 요 is a particle that can make a sentence polite. 반가워요. One more time. The formal way to introduce yourself is 안녕하세요. Amy예요. 반가워요. The informal way to introduce yourself is 안녕, Amy야. 반가워. Now it's time for Amy's insights. When you introduce yourself in Korea, it's polite to make a small bow. If you're a guy, bow with your hands at your sides. If you're a girl, bow with your hands in front of you. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Korean. Today, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Are you ready? Then let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the most common phrase, 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 감사합니다 means I do thanks or thank you. To say thank you very much, you just need to add 대단히, which means very much or greatly. 대단히 감사합니다. 대단히 감사합니다. 대단히 means greatly, so 대단히 감사합니다 is like saying thank you very much. In the last lesson, we saw that Korean has formal and informal ways of speaking. 감사합니다 is pretty formal. If you want to thank someone more casually, you can use a shorter phrase. 고마워. 고마워. Let's break down those phrases. In the formal way of saying thank you, 감사합니다. 감사 means thank you. And 합니다 is a formal way to say to do. So 감사합니다 means I do thanks. And to make it less formal, we swap out 감사 with a different verb. That's 고마워. It has the same meaning of thank you, but it's more friendly. When someone thanks you, how should you answer? There's no set response like you're welcome in English, but there are a few things that you can say. The first thing is 아니에요. 아니에요. You literally are saying no, But this is a common and informal way to respond to someone thanking you. You're telling the person that there's nothing to bother thanking you for. There's another phrase that's used to respond to thank you in Korean. 천만에요. 천만에요. But it's not used all that often. You're better off with 아니에요 in most situations. Now it's time for Amy's insights. 감사합니다 sounds formal. 고마워 sounds informal. What if you want to sound kind of formal, but still kind of friendly? In that case, you can upgrade the informal 고마워 to 고마워요. You see, you simply add 요 at the end. 요 is the sentence ending particles that make sentences more polite. This is a nice way to thank your waiter. 고마워요. In the last lesson, we learned how to thank people by saying 감사합니다 and 고마워. In this lesson, we will learn some of the most common greetings used in Korea. Are you ready? Then let's start. The most common informal greeting is 안녕. 안녕. 안녕 means peace. We say it when we meet someone and also when we leave, but only to a friend or someone younger than us. The more standard greeting that you will hear a lot in Korea is 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Literally, 안녕하세요 means, are you at peace? We use it to say hello when we meet someone. It's technically a question, but we don't always say it that way. 안녕하세요. Because 안녕하세요 is a question, some people answer it with 예, which means yes, before replying with the same question, 안녕하세요. When it's time to leave, we have a couple different ways to say goodbye. If you're leaving and the other person is staying, say 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 계세요. 계세요 means please stay. So 안녕히 계세요 literally means please stay peacefully. A casual version of 안녕히 계세요 is 잘 있어. 잘 means well, and 있어 means stay informally. So 잘 있어 just means stay well. 잘 있어. If the other person is leaving, say 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. 가세요 means please go. So 안녕히 가세요 literally means please go peacefully. A casual version of 안녕히 가세요 is 잘 가. 잘 means well, and 가 means go informally. So 잘 가 just means go well. Now you know lots of ways to greet people in Korean. Let's review them all once again. To greet someone casually, 안녕. To greet someone respectfully, 안녕하세요. To say goodbye respectfully when you're leaving and the other person is staying, 안녕히 계세요. To say goodbye casually when you're leaving, 잘 있어. To say goodbye respectfully when the other person is leaving, 안녕히 가세요. To say goodbye casually when the other person is leaving, 잘 가. In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Korean, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're asking, even if their answer is no. Are you ready? Then let's start. Here's the basic way to ask whether someone speaks English. 영어 하세요? 영어 하세요? 영어 means English, and 하세요 means do you do? So 영어 하세요 means do you do English? If you want to be a little more specific and ask about someone's ability to speak English, you can say 영어 할 수 있어요? 할 수 있어요 means can you do? Can you do English? 영어 할 수 있어요? 영어 할 수 있어요? This sentence could be very helpful if you're in trouble on the street, in a restaurant, or a hotel. No matter where you are, if you're looking for someone who can speak English, just ask. If you want to be super polite, just add 실례하지만, which means excuse me but. 실례하지만 영어 하세요? Excuse me but do you speak English? 실례하지만 영어 하세요? The response will probably be like one of these three. Yeah? Yes? Yeah? 조금이요. Just a little. 조금이요. 아니 못해요. No, I don't. 아니 못해요. Since this last one is a negative statement about ability, we add 못, an adverb meaning can't. 못해요 means I can't. Now it's time for Amy's insights. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. 일본어 for Japanese, 중국어 for Chinese, 스페인어 for Spanish, 독일어 for German, 프랑스어 for French. If you want to say, do you speak German? You can simply replace 영어 with 독일어. 독일어 하세요? Do you speak German? 독일어 하세요? In this lesson, we mentioned the word 실례합니다, meaning excuse me.
Welcome to Fun and Easy Korean by KoreanClass101.com. Did you know that there are fun and quicker ways to text in Korea? 여러분 안녕하세요, 소피입니다. Hi everyone, I'm Sophie. In this lesson, you will learn all about Korean slang and abbreviations. If you want to master Korean slang and abbreviations, you need to learn how Koreans communicate and express their emotions through texting. In this video, you will learn simplified Korean texting slang and combined words. After watching this video, reaching out to your Korean friends through text will change for the better. These Korean text slang words and expressions are actually easier to learn than you think. So, make sure to keep on watching. Let's start with simplified Korean texting slang, which is common slang words that Koreans use frequently. You may notice that vowels are omitted, so you see only the first consonant of each syllable. That's why you cannot actually read or say these words. Koreans use them for texting only, using your phone or computer. The first is 기억 시옷, short for 감사, meaning thank you. 감사, 감사. This is how you use it. 선물 감사, which means thank you for your present. 선물 감사. 선물 감사. Another common Korean slang is 니은 니은, short for no no, meaning no no. No no. No no. For example, 사진 no no, meaning no picture, which is a way of saying that there's no picture or don't take a picture. 사진 no no. 사진 no no. Next is 디귿디귿, short for 덜덜. This is a word used to describe shivering, especially because it's frightening, shocking, or surprising. 덜덜, 덜덜. It is used like this. 노래는 좋은데 가사가 덜덜. The melody is great, but the lyrics are scary. 노래는 좋은데 가사가 덜덜. 노래는 좋은데 가사가 덜덜. Another one is 쌍지읒, 쌍지읒, short for 쯧쯧, meaning 쯧쯧, 쯧쯧. You use it this way. 또 늦었네. 쯧쯧. He's late again. 또 늦었네. 쯧쯧. 또 늦었네. 쯧쯧. Next is 기역, which is short for 고고, meaning let's go or let's do it. 고고, 고고. This is how you use it. 내일부터 다이어트 고고, which means I will go on a diet from tomorrow. 내일부터 다이어트 고고. 내일부터 다이어트 고고. Text your friend goodbye through this. 비읍, 비읍. Short for bye, bye, meaning goodbye. bye, bye. bye, bye. Here is an example. 내일 봐. Bye, bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. 내일 봐. Bye, bye. 내일 봐. Bye, bye. Another one is 이응, 이응. Short for 응, meaning yes. 응, 응. You can use it this way. 응, 응. 알겠어. Yes, I got it. 응, 응. 알겠어. 응, 응. 알겠어. Is it your friend's birthday today? Text them with this. 치읓, 키읔, 치읓, 키읔. Short for 축하, 축하, meaning congratulations, literally. We use this expression on someone's birthday, marriage, or graduation when you want to say congratulations. 축하, 축하. 축하, 축하. For example, 생일 축하, 축하. Happy birthday. 생일 축하, 축하. 생일 축하, 축하. Another frequent text slang is 이응, 키읔, short for okay, meaning okay. okay, okay. For example, okay, 그렇게 할게. Okay, I will do that. okay, 그렇게 할게. okay, 그렇게 할게. If you did something that hurts the feelings of your Korean friend, text him or her with 지읒, 시옷, a short version of 죄송, meaning sorry. 죄송, 죄송. And in an example, 아, 실수, 죄송. Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry. 아, 실수, 죄송. 아, 실수, 죄송. Let your Korean friends know they're being funny by texting. 키읔, 키읔, 키읔. Short for 크크크, which is the sound of laughter. It is the same as LOL, laughing out loud. 크크크, 크크크. You can use it when commenting on a funny picture. There's a similar expression, 히읗, 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 which is short for 흐흐흐, which represents a weaker laugh sound than 크크크. 흐흐흐, 흐흐흐. Next is text slang with combined words. These are a bit more complicated than the previous ones I gave you because they are composed of more than one Korean expression. Here are some examples. The first word in our list is 짐, short for 지금, meaning now. 짐, 짐. In a sentence, you could say 짐 어디? Where are you now? 짐 어디? 짐 어디? Sam is another Korean slang short for 선생님, meaning teacher. Sam. Sam. Here it is in a sentence. 우리 쌤 진짜 잘생긴 것 같아. I think my teacher is really handsome. 우리 쌤 진짜 잘생긴 것 같아. 우리 쌤 진짜 잘생긴 것 같아. Next is 어떻게, short for 어떻게, meaning how. 어떻게, 어떻게. For example, 이거 어떻게 쓰는 거지? How can I use this? 이거 어떻게 쓰는 거지? 이거 어떻게 쓰는 거지? If your Korean friend invited you to go hiking, but you don't feel like going, reply with 다음, short for 다음, meaning next time. 다음, 다음. In a sentence, 다음에 가자. Let's go next time. 다음에 가자. 다음에 가자. Here is another Korean slang. 스샷, short for 스크린샷, meaning screenshot. 스샷, 스샷. Here is an example. 폰 스샷 찍어 보내줘. Send me the screenshot of your phone. 폰 스샷 찍어 보내줘. 폰 스샷 찍어 보내줘. Another one is 눈팅, short for 눈채팅, meaning to read a chat without interacting. 눈팅, 눈팅. For example, 난 인스타그램은 그냥 눈팅만 해. I spend time lurking on Instagram. 난 인스타그램은 그냥 눈팅만 해. 난 인스타그램은 그냥 눈팅만 해. Do you like what you are eating at a restaurant? Text your friend with 강추, short for 강력 추천, meaning highly recommended. 강추, 강추. For example, 이거 짱 맛있어. 강추. This is really delicious. Highly recommended. 이거 짱 맛있어. 강추. 이거 짱 맛있어. 강추. 비번 is a slang that you will find very useful. It is short for 비밀번호, meaning passwords. 비번, 비번. And now an example. 엄마, 아파트 비번 뭐야? Mom, what's the code for our apartment door? 엄마, 아파트 비번 뭐야? 엄마, 아파트 비번 뭐야? Did you know there's a Korean slang word for the word computer? It's com, short for computer. Com, com. Here it is in a sentence. 이 어플 컴으로도 돼? Does this app work on the computer too? 이 어플 컴으로도 돼? 이 어플 컴으로도 돼? Here's a slang you can use with your Korean office mates. 메일, short for 메일, meaning email. 메일, 메일. For example, you could say, 나 메일 좀 쓸게. Let me write an email. 나 메일 좀 쓸게. 나 메일 좀 쓸게. Next is can, short for game, meaning game. Cam. It's perfect Korean slang you can use with your Korean gamer friends. And now in a sentence. 게임하러 갈 건데 같이 갈래? We're going to play a game. Do you want to play too? 게임하러 갈 건데 같이 갈래? 게임하러 갈 건데 같이 갈래? Next is 울, short for 우리, meaning we, our or my. 울. For example, 울 남친 잘생겼지. My boyfriend is handsome, right? 울 남친 잘생겼지. 울 남친 잘생겼지. Next is 짱나, short for 짜증나, meaning I'm annoyed or I'm cranky. This slang is perfect when you feel like expressing your emotions. 짱나. For example, 날씨 더워서 너무 짱나. I feel so cranky because of this hot weather. 날씨 더워서 너무 짱나. 날씨 더워서 너무 짱나. Next is 근데, short for 그런데, meaning by the way or but. 근데. So you might say, 이거 비싸 보이지? 근데 사실 되게 싸. This looks expensive, right? But it's actually very cheap. 이거 비싸 보이지? 근데 사실 되게 싸. 이거 비싸 보이지? 근데 사실 되게 싸. You can also use the slang 때문에, short for 때문에, meaning because of. 때문에. In an example, 너 때문에 엄마가 화났잖아. Mom is angry because of you. 너 때문에 엄마가 화났잖아. 너 때문에 엄마가 화났잖아. Try using 아님 when texting. It's short for 아니면, meaning or if not. 아님. In a sentence, 초콜릿 먹을래? 아님 쿠키 먹을래? Do you want to eat some chocolate or some cookies? 초콜릿 먹을래? 아님 쿠키 먹을래? 초콜릿 먹을래? 아님 쿠키 먹을래? Now, let's learn 알았어, short for 알겠어, meaning okay. 알았어. For example, 알았어. 집 가는 길에 우유 사갈게. Okay, I will buy some milk on the way home. 알았어. 집에 가는 길에 우유 사갈게. 알았어. 집에 가는 길에 우유 사갈게. Let your Korean friends know that it's your first time in Korea or it's your first time meeting them by texting. 처음, short for 처음, meaning for the first time. 처음. You could say, 한국 음식은 처음 먹어봐. This is my first time to try Korean cuisine. 한국 음식은 처음 먹어봐. 한국 음식은 처음 먹어봐. Next is 내일, short for 내일. is the slang you use when you want to text tomorrow. 내일, 내일. For example, 내일 보자. See you tomorrow. 내일 보자. 내일 보자. 제일, on the other hand, is short for 제일, meaning the most, the best. 제일, 제일. And in a sentence, 네가 제일 예뻐, which means you're the prettiest. 네가 제일 예뻐. 네가 제일 예뻐. Next is 좋아, short for 좋아, meaning I like. 좋아, 좋아. For example, 난 딸기 케이크가 좋아, meaning I like strawberry cake. 난 딸기 케이크가 좋아. 난 딸기 케이크가 좋아. 반가, short for 반갑습니다, meaning nice to meet you. 반가, 반가. This word is used on the internet or chat and might be considered somewhat old-fashioned. You can still come across it in many places, so it's a good word to remember. 안녕, 반가, 반가. Hello, nice to meet you. 안녕, 반가, 반가. 안녕, 반가, 반가. Now, let's learn about slang for the days of the week. 월요일, short for 월요일, meaning Monday. 화요일, short for 화요일, meaning Tuesday. 수요일, short for 수요일, meaning Wednesday. 목요일, short for 목요일, meaning Thursday. 금요일, short for 금요일, meaning Friday. 토요일, short for 토요일, meaning Saturday. 일요일, short for 일요일, meaning Sunday. Try using one of these like this. 그럼 월요일에 볼까? Shall we meet on Monday? 그럼 월요일에 볼까? 그럼 월요일에 볼까? In this lesson, you learn different Korean slang words used in texting. You can now communicate with your Korean friends through simplified Korean slang, combined words, emoticons, and text slang with numbers. You don't have to create long and boring messages anymore whenever you want to get in touch with your Korean friends. That's it for today. See you next time. 다음에 또 봐요.
10 phrases to help you in an emergency. Let's begin. 경찰을 불러주세요. Call the police, please. So 경찰 means policeman, and 불러주세요 means please call. So when you're in an emergency and if you want someone to call police over the phone or in person, you can say 경찰을 불러주세요. Call the police, please. You can also, if you need an ambulance, you can say ambulance를 불러주세요 by replacing the word 경찰 here and say ambulance를 불러주세요 or 구급차를 불러주세요, which means call me the ambulance, please. So if you can make a call, you can call 112 to call a police or 119 to call a fire truck or ambulance. 열이 나나요? Do you have a fever? So here we have the word 열, which means fever. It can be any kind of heat, like it can be also, you can also use it to mean the heat from fire. But when you talk about your health, like body condition, 열 can mean fever. So when you go to a hospital, you might hear this question in Korean, and you can say 예 to mean yes or 아니요 to mean no. 여권을 잃어버렸어요. I lost my passport. So 여권 literally means the book for travel because 여 is the Chinese character meaning travel and 권 is kind of the counter for books. So 여권 means passport, and when you lost your passport, before or after you call your embassy, you also have to report it to a police. So that case, when you go to a police station, you can say 여권을 잃어버렸어요. 잃어버렸어요 or 잃어버리다 is the verb meaning to lost. So you can actually say you lost something using this pattern. Say, 우산을 잃어버렸어요. I lost my umbrella. 가방을 잃어버렸어요. I lost my bag. 뭔가 잘못 먹은 것 같아요. I think I ate something bad. It's a little bit long phrase to remember, but I think this is kind of polite way to say I ate something bad. If you don't want to hurt anyone, I think this is a phrase that you can use at a hospital or even at a restaurant. So 뭔가 at the beginning of the sentence here means something. 잘못 means wrong, wrongly, and 먹은 것 같아요 means I think I ate something. So here we have the verb 같아요, which means I think, it seems like, and it makes your sentence indirect and also polite. So you'll be able to see a lot of expressions in Korean have this kind of ending, like 같아요, so that it doesn't sound direct, a little bit softer, and also polite. 의사가 필요해요. I need a doctor. So when you need a medical help, you can use this phrase to say I need a doctor. 의사가 필요해요. Here, 의사 means a doctor, and you can also put any other words too. For example, 도움이 필요해요, which means I need a help. The particle 가 should be changed depending on the noun. So if you don't want to worry about the particle because you really need help right now, but not make any grammatical mistake, you can just keep saying particle and just say 의사 필요해요. I need a doctor. 도움 필요해요. I need help. It doesn't sound 100% natural, but it means clear. Anyways. 호텔로 돌아가는 길을 못 찾겠어요. I can't find the way back to my hotel. If you are looking for some guest house and hotels with reasonable prices, you'll be able to find many of them in north part of Seoul, which has a longer history than south part of Seoul. That also means that the roads are kind of smaller and not easy to find because it's been there for like 600, 700 years. So that case, I recommend you to get a name card of your hotel when you check in. So that other Korean people can help you because there are a lot of guest hotels, guest houses which are new. Korean people might not be able to, find it if they just hear the name only. So I think it's better to get the name card at the check-in desk when you arrive at the hotel. 이 근처에 약국 있나요? Is there a pharmacy nearby? So we have the noun 약국 here. 약 means medicine, and 국 is something like store. So 약국 means pharmacy. I think you'll be able to easily find a pharmacy in Korea, but when it's on weekends, it might not easy to find one nearby. So I think before you go to a pharmacy on your map, on your smartphone, I think it's better to call them. If they answer, that means they're open. So you can just go there or ask the front desk staff to call them or check it for you to see if they're open, because many times half of them will be closed. So I think it's better to check it in advance. And if you just need some simple medicine, I think you can also check out the convenience store nearby. I think they have some medicines there too. 좀 도와주실래요? Can you help me? To say can you help me, you can just say 도와주실래요? But here we have the word 좀, which means a little, like, a few. Because if you use that at the beginning of your question or request, you recast the question will be very polite. So even if you don't want to say, can you help me a little bit? Like by using the word 좀, you can make your request much more polite. 길을 잃었어요. I'm lost. So here we have the word 길, which means street. So it literally means I lost what street I am, something like that. If you just simply say 잃었어요 to mean I'm lost, it means I lost something. So if you want to say I am lost because I don't know where I am, make sure to say 길을 at the beginning and say 길을 잃었어요. 영어 하세요? Do you speak English? It literally means do you do English, but when you want to ask someone if someone speaks English, this 하세요, the verb meaning to do, make your question more natural. So you can say 영어 하세요 to mean do you speak English, or if you want to ask another language, for example, 중국어, Chinese, you can say 중국어 하세요. Do you speak Chinese? 5 sentence patterns for beginners. Let's begin. 제 이름은 입니다. My name is. So after you say 제 이름은, which means my name is, you can just put your name and say 입니다. 입니다 is the word meaning to be. So unlike English, you have to put your name in the middle of the sentence. So for example, my name is 재휘, so I can say 제 이름은 재휘입니다. My name is 재휘. 제 이름은 재휘입니다. My name is 재휘. 저는 입니다. I am. So I think this is kind of the magic sentence pattern. You can put anything in there. You can even put the name of your job. You can also put your nationality, like ethnic group, or anything in there, because that literally means I am something. So for example, if you are, let's say, from the UK, you can say 저는 영국 사람입니다 by using the word 영국 사람, which means British, or literally means the person from the UK. And if your job is a student, you can say 저는 학생입니다 using the noun 학생, which means a student. So you just, put anything in there. Just say 저는, which means I am, and then put a noun and say 입니다, which means to be. 어디예요? Where is? So when you want to see where something is, you just have to put the noun about the place at the beginning and say 어디예요? Make sure to raise the tone at the end of sentence, as in 어디예요, not 어디예요. It's because when you say 어디예요, it becomes a question, but if you say 어디예요, it becomes a statement. So make sure to say 어디예요 when you ask a question. So if you are in a park and if you want to know where a restroom is, you can use the noun 화장실, which means restroom, and then just say 어디예요? 화장실 어디예요? Where's the restroom? 저는 에 살아요. I live in. So unlike English, you have to put the name of the place in the middle of the sentence. So if you live in Seoul, Seoul in Korean, you can say 저는 서울에 살아요. 저는 서울에 살아요. So simply say 저는, which means I do, I am, and then name of the place and say 에 살아요. Here 에 is the particle for location. If you put the particle 에 right after the place name, it becomes in Seoul, for example, like as in 서울에. For sure, like in many cases, you can just skip saying particle and just say 저는 서울 살아요. But it sounds a little bit not natural, so it's better to use the particle 에 if you can remember it correctly. 저는 좋아해요. I like. So 좋아해요 is the verb meaning to like something. So if you like something, you just say 저는 and the object and just say 좋아해요, which means I like something. So for example, if you like 한국, Korea, everything about Korea, you can say 저는 한국 좋아해요. I like Korea. I think this is the magic word to make more Korean friends when you see someone for the first time. If you like something else, like let's say 갈비, which is kind of marinated beef or pork, you can say 저는 갈비 좋아해요. I like 갈비, the marinated beef or pork. 20 travel phrases you should know. Let's begin. 고마워요. Thank you. I think if you just have to remember just one phrase before you travel to Korea, I think this is the phrase that you should know. 고마워요. There are different phrases meaning thank you. For example, 감사합니다, which is more formal, something like I appreciate. But 고마워요 can be used in general for any like casual or formal situation. For example, 저쪽에 가시면 화장실이 있어요. The toilet is over there, and you can just say 고마워요, thank you. Just for your tip, in Korea, it's mandatory to open a bathroom on the first floor of every building. So if you don't know where you can find a restroom, you just go to any big building around you, and then you'll be able to see a restroom open to public on the first floor of each building. 저기요, excuse me. If you want to ask how to get to a restroom around you, you can just say 저기요, 화장실은 어디에 있어요? Excuse me, where's the toilet? And then you can say 고마워요 to thank you after getting the answer. 얼마입니까? How much is it? 얼마입니까 sounds a little bit formal, so if you want to go a little bit casual, you can also say 얼마예요? How much is it? You're at a store like for clothing and you find a very good clothing for you, but there's no price tag. Then in this case, you can say 얼마입니까? 얼마예요? Meaning how much is this? 기차역이 어디예요? Where is the train station? Here we have the noun 기차역 meaning train station, and you can replace it with the other noun saying 화장실이 어디예요? Where is the toilet? Or 지하철역이 어디예요? Where is the subway station? 와이파이 인터넷은 무료인가요? Is the Wi-Fi free? So here we have the word Wi-Fi internet, or simply you can also say Wi-Fi to mean Wi-Fi. If you go to any cafe like Starbucks, let's say you buy a coffee, then you can get a receipt, and on the receipt you can find a Wi-Fi password. Checking it, you can ask them saying Wi-Fi는 무료인가요? or Wi-Fi 인터넷은 무료인가요? Meaning, is the Wi-Fi free? 이거로 할게요. I'd like this. 이걸로 할게요. I like this. Here we have the noun 이거 meaning this. If you want to say that thing, you can say 저거로 할게요. I'd like that. 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu please? 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu please? You can just simply say menu and say 메뉴 좀 주실래요? to mean the same thing. This is very polite expression, so I recommend you to use that. And if you need something else, you can just replace 메뉴판 with something else. For example, 물 좀 주실래요? Could we have water please? Or 김치 좀 주실래요? Could we have kimchi please? 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to have at the restaurant, you can just say 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to order at a Korean restaurant, I would highly recommend you try 불고기, which is kind of seasoned beef with soy sauce and sugar. So it's a little bit salty but also sweet but not spicy. 불고기를 추천합니다. I recommend 불고기. 땅콩 알러지가 있어요. I'm allergic to peanuts. If you're allergic to peanuts, you can just say 땅콩 알러지가 있어요. If you're allergic to something else, you can just say something 알러지가 있어요. For example, if you're allergic to cats, you can just replace 땅콩 with 고양이, which means cat, and say 고양이 알러지가 있어요. I'm allergic to cats. 채식 메뉴 있어요? Do you have any vegetarian dishes? Although many Korean dishes use a lot of vegetables, it's not easy to find something only for vegetarians. So it's better to ask, 채식 메뉴 있어요? Do you have any vegetarian dishes? Before you order something at a Korean restaurant. Or if you want to try a traditional Korean dish but without any beef or meat, you can just say 고기 빼고 주세요, which means please make dish without meat. 계산서 주세요. Could I have the check? If you want to pay for your dish, you can just ask 계산서 주세요. 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? Almost all the restaurants, they accept credit cards. So even if you don't have any Korean currency, it's okay to just go to a restaurant and just pay by your credit card. 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? Could you take a picture of me, please? So if you're alone, but if you want to take a picture of you with something beautiful, you can just ask 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? 금연석으로 주세요. I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. Actually, you don't have to ask this question anymore because since 2015, all restaurants in South Korea became non-smoking, like smoking-free. But you can use the pattern to ask something else. For example, 창가 근처로 주세요. I'd like to have a window seat. 할인해 주실 수 있어요? Could you give me a discount? Simply, you can also say 할인해 주세요, which means please give me a discount. When you are at a Korean traditional market, I think it's mandatory to ask this question because usually they expect their customers to ask this question. So it's better to ask the question it's kind of fun to get some discount. So in the case, you can say 할인해 줄 수 있어요? Could you give me a discount? Or 할인해 주세요. Please give me a discount. 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? It's possible to not have any internet connection on your phone, so you need a map. In that case, you can just go to a tourist information center where you can find almost every tourist spot in South Korea and just say 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? 예약했어요. I have a reservation. So when you step into a hotel, when you step into a guest house, the staff will ask you like 예약하셨어요? Did you make a reservation? Then you can say 예약했어요. I made a reservation. I have a reservation. 물 주세요. Water please. This is very simple pattern. Like you can just replace 물 with something else. 김치 주세요. 김치 please. 주세요 can be used for any situations. It sounds polite, but still a little bit casual. If you want to be really polite, you can also say something 주시겠어요? 물 주시겠어요? 김치 주시겠어요? That means, could you please give me something? But for most of the cases, you can just remember 주세요 and say something 주세요 to mean something please. 영어 할 줄 아세요? Do you speak English? Simply, you can also say 영어 하세요. It literally means do you do English? But it can mean do you speak English? You know, if someone says something in Korean and you want to ask the person to repeat this question in English, you can just say 영어로 말해주세요. Please say that in English. 괜찮아요. It's okay. So in Korean, it's better to say something indirectly if you want to be polite. So if you want to say no, it's better to say 괜찮아요, which literally means it's okay, but it can be translated as no. So for example, if someone asks you to buy something, you can just say 괜찮아요 to mean no. It's better than saying 아니에요, which means no, literally, because it sounds too direct, and so therefore it sounds a little bit rude.
Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Top 10 phrases to survive at the station. Let's begin. 에 가고 싶은데요. I'd like to go to. 에 가고 싶은데요. I'd like to go to. Here we have the particle 에, which we call a location marking particle. In English, like when you say to the station, the to indicates the location, right? The same thing happens in Korea. Like if you just use the particle 에, that indicates the location. So for example, like if you want to say to Seoul Station, you can say 서울역, the name of the Seoul Station in Korean, and say 에, the location marking particle, 서울역에, to Seoul Station. So if you ask a question using this phrase, 어디에 가고 싶은데요? I'd like to go somewhere. You might hear some answers, and one of them might be 이 버스를 타세요. Please take this bus. 여기가 가는 플랫폼 맞나요? Is this the right platform for? 여기가 여기가 가는 플랫폼 맞나요? Is this the right platform for? So between 여기가 and 가는, you can just put your destination. So for example, 여기가 종로 가는 플랫폼 맞나요? Is this the right platform for 종로? It's because sometimes, you know, in a subway station, you'll see two platforms on the other side. Sometimes you might need to check if you're on the right platform or not. And then if it is right, you hear 네, 맞아요. Yes, it is. Or you might hear 아니요, 반대편 플랫폼으로 가세요, which means that no, go to the other platform, please. 막차는 언제 있어요? What time is the last train? 막차는 언제 있어요? What time is the last train? 막차 is the word meaning last train or last bus because it literally means the last car. So you might hear all different hours, but sometimes people might tell you that 자정에 있어요. It is at midnight. If you're in Seoul, you don't have to worry about 막차, last car, when you take a bus because, you know, it runs 24/7. So you don't have to worry about it that much. 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for? 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for? So before this expression, you can just put your destination. For example, 서울역에 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for Seoul Station? The good thing about Korean subway system is that the transfer is for free, like no matter what line you take. As long as it's under the subway system, you don't have to worry about paying too much when you transfer to the other line. So for example, if you say 시청 가려면 어디에서 갈아타요? Where do I change for the city hall? People might say that 서울역에서 갈아타세요. Please change at the Seoul station. 기차역이 어디예요? Where is the train station? 기차역이 어디예요? Where is the train station? If you're a fan of Google Maps, you have to remember that Google Maps sometimes doesn't work well in Korea because of the laws and regulations. So you might have to ask sometimes where something is because the Google Map might not show something clearly. In that case, you can say 기차역이 어디예요? Where's the train station? And there will be a lot of kind people who might say 이쪽으로 따라오세요. Please follow me this way. 표는 어디에서 사요? Where can I buy a ticket? 표는 어디에서 사요? Where can I buy a ticket? If you're new to Korea, there might be a lot of things that you have to learn from the very beginning. One of them is where to buy tickets. If you're not sure where to buy your ticket, you can say 표는 어디에서 사요? 표 is the word meaning ticket. And you might hear something like 저기 승차권 발매기가 있어요. The ticket machines are over there. Or if you live in South Korea, I think it's better to just buy a transportation card, which is known as T-money. In that case, you don't have to worry about buying a ticket. 까지 얼마예요? How much is it to? 까지 얼마예요? How much is it to? So before this expression, you can just put your destination. For example, 서울역까지 얼마예요? How much is it to Seoul Station? Then you hear something like 3,000원입니다. It's 3,000 won. These days, you don't have to talk to anyone. Actually, you just go to a vending machine and just press your destination, then it's going to show you the price. But if you want to check something before you go to the station, you can just ask 서울역까지 얼마예요? How much is it to Seoul Station? 이 버스 가나요? Does this bus go to? 이 버스 가나요? Does this bus go to? And then you can just say your destination. 이 버스 means this bus, and 가나요 means is it going? In most cases, you just have to put the phrases saying the transportation method, like 이 버스, this bus, or 이 지하철, this subway, and then just say 가나요, is it going? If you want to know if the bus or if the subway car goes to a specific destination. For example, if you want to go to 롯데월드, the amusement park, you can say 이 버스 롯데월드 가나요? You just put the destination in the middle. Does this bus go to 롯데월드? And if the bus is going, you will hear 네, 갑니다. Yes, it is going. 버스 정류장이 어디예요? Where is the bus stop? 버스 정류장이 어디예요? Where is the bus stop? When you are looking for bus stop, just look at the middle of the street because in many cases, they have a special lane for buses. It's not on the side. For some cases, it's in the middle. And when you ask this kind of question, you hear something like 길 건너편에 있어요. It's across the street. 기차가 늦네요. The train's running late. 기차가 늦네요. The train's running late. Here we have the word 기차, which means a train. If the person knows it'll be coming soon, you'll hear 곧 올 거예요. It will arrive soon. Must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. Let's begin. 그건 사실이야. That's true. 그건 사실이야. That's true. 네가 말하는 게 사실이야. What you're saying is true. You can say that 그거 사실이야. Is that true? 그런 것 같아요. I guess so. 그런 것 같아요. I guess so. If you're not 100% sure, but if you feel like that's correct, you can say that 그런 것 같아요. I guess so. 그런 것 같아요. I guess so. 그럼요. Absolutely. 그럼요. Absolutely. So if someone asks you like 오늘 저녁에 같이 갈비 먹으러 갈까? Do you want to have some 갈비 tonight together? For sure, you can say that 그럼요. Meaning I really want to do that. Like absolutely. 어떻게 생각해요? What do you think? 어떻게 생각해요? What do you think? Yeah, that's the question when you want to ask if someone agree or disagree with you. So in that case, you can say 어떻게 생각해요? Or 어떻게 생각해? To mean what do you think? 나는 그게 좋다고 생각해. I think that's good. Or 나는 그거 별로라고 생각해. I don't think that's good. 아마도요. Maybe. 아마도요. Maybe. When you don't have enough information to say yes or no, you can be in the middle by saying 아마도요, maybe. 저는 그렇게 생각하지 않아요. I don't think so. 저는 그렇게 생각하지 않아요. I don't think so. This one has a strong message, so usually Korean people don't use that often. But like when you use this kind of expression, it's better to, put the reason why you think like that. So it's better to say 저는 그렇게 생각하지 않아요. 왜냐하면, which means I don't think so because something something. 당연하죠. Of course. 당연하죠. Of course. So for example, if your senior asks you 이 리포트 오늘 밤까지 마무리할 수 있겠어? Which means that do you think you can finish this report by tonight? And you can say that 당연하죠. Of course. 저도 그 말을 하려고 했어요. I was just going to say that. So if your friend says that 오늘 밤에 삼겹살 먹는 거 어때? Why don't we have 삼겹살 tonight? Then you can just say that 저도 그 말을 하려고 했어요. I was just going to say that. 저는 좀 생각이 달라요. I'm afraid I disagree. 저는 좀 생각이 달라요. I'm afraid I disagree. This is also an expression that has a strong message. It's better not to say that often, but if you think you really have to say that you don't agree with someone else's idea, like for example, during the business meeting, you can say that 저는 좀 생각이 달라요. I'm afraid I disagree. 확실해요. No doubt about it. 확실해요. No doubt about it. Here we have the word 확실, which means that, something 100% sure. For example, your senior can ask you, 이 리포트 정확해? Which means that does this report has all the correct information? Then you can say that 확실해요. No doubt about it.
Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Actually, I haven't seen them yet, so I'm kind of excited to see what kind of words I'm going to see. Okay, the first word is 슬픈. 슬픈. It means sad. Like you can say 그 영화는 슬픈 영화다, meaning like that movie is sad movie. And the next one would be 어려운, difficult. If you just start learning Korean, then you might say 한국어는 no, it's not good. I have to motivate people. I want to say that 한국어는 어려운 언어가 아닙니다, which means Korean is not difficult language. The next one will be I have to make a sample sentence with that. 못생긴, which means ugly. Well, actually, it's not easy to make a sentence with this word because it mostly have to be with someone. But I might say 못생긴 친구가 예뻐졌다, which means one of my ugly friends become beautiful. That happens a lot at my college. Like they have sometimes get some plastic surgery and they just become beautiful. So I might say 못생긴 친구가 예뻐졌다. Next one is 화난, which means angry. 화난. 오늘 아침에 화난 일이 있었다. Like 화난 일 is something like something making you angry. So that means like there was something make me angry this morning. Computer words. Now we have keyboard, which means keyboard. 저는 무선 키보드가 더 좋습니다, which means I like wireless keyboard more. Okay, and next we have notebook. Notebook doesn't mean like notebook, it's laptop computer. I can make a sentence something like 저는 노트북을 6개월에 한 번씩 바꿉니다, which means something like I change my laptop every 6 months. Yeah, that's kind of true. Okay, and now we have mouse, which means mouse for the computer, I think. Well, For the animal mouse, you can use this word 쥐. So don't call the animal mouse as mouse because that would be only for the computer mouse. 무선 마우스가 편리합니다, which means wireless mouse is convenient. And here, like 무선 means wireless because it literally means without lines. Next one, headphone. Like I said, it's almost the same as English words. Headphone means headphones. With that, I can make a sentence like 저는 헤드폰으로 음악을 듣습니다, which means I listen to music with headphones. And now we have, let me see, mic. Can you guess what it means? Yeah, you might think it's about a guy named Mike. You can call Mike as Mike 씨, Mr. Mike. Not Mr. Mike. But mic can be used for microphones. 저는 노래방에서 마이크로 노래를 불렀습니다. I'm singing a song with a microphone at the karaoke. Korean jobs. Let's see what kind of words we have today. Alright, now we have 간호사, which means nurse. 이 병원에는 예쁜 간호사가 많이 있습니다, which means at this hospital there are many beautiful nurses. Yep. Actually, in Korean, there are not many male nurses. So if you just say 간호사, that means, for female. And if you want to say male nurse, you can say 남자 간호사. Okay, and the next one is 경찰관, police officers. That happens a lot, like when you just walk on the street in Korea and they just catch you and just, ask you to show them their ID cards because of the, they might consider you as someone from North Korea. No, that's not a good one. What kind of sentence I can make? 경찰관에게 잡혔습니다, which means I got caught by a police officer. When I was walking around the presidential office in South Korea, I had a big backpack and I think they thought that I just tried to, attack the president. So they just got me, just wanted to see the building. But they thought that I'm kind of suspicious guy. Now we have the word 농부, which means farmer. 서울에는 농부가 없습니다, which means in Seoul, there is no farmer. Gangnam was actually the place where you can find a lot of farmers, but now you can only find buildings and Psy. Okay, and the next one is 회사원, which means office worker. I can just simply say like, 저는 회사원입니다. Like, I'm an office worker for KoreanClass1.com. So that's true.
Welcome to Fun and Easy Korean by KoreanClass101.com. Did you know that most of the school rules in Korea were too strict and were once too difficult to follow? 여러분 안녕하세요, 소피입니다. Hi everyone, I'm Sophie. In this lesson, you will learn the 6 most common rules about school in South Korea. Students in South Korea follow different rules when it comes to their hairstyle, the clothes they wear, even the person they date, and more. In this video, you will learn first 6 common school rules, then some more old rules. If you are planning to become a teacher or want to study in Korea, watching this video could be the best thing that will ever happen to you. Why? Because you will be able to learn how to blend in with other students and you will know how to behave the right way when you are in school. The first rule is you don't go to school on Saturdays, but you are expected to do 야자. Students in South Korea used to go to school on Saturdays, but it stopped when the law changed in the year 2000. However, students are still required to attend 야자. 야자. It's an abbreviation for 야간 자율 학습. 야간 자율 학습, which means night self-learning. As the name implies, it's a self-study program held at the school and was mandatory in the past. Today, students are given the freedom to choose whether to do 야자 or not. You will be studying in a quiet classroom when you are on a 야자 time or night self-learning time. 야자 time. It's actually a huge help for students to plan their own study strategy or to do their 숙제 or homework. 숙제. Additionally, you can have your friend tutor you in the subjects that you are not good at during 야자 time. Students who are in their last year of high school or middle school typically do a voluntary 야자. 야자. Now, let's do a quick practice on your pronunciation. 야자. Nice self-learning. 야자. 야자. 야자 시간. Nice self-learning time. 야자 시간. 야자 시간. 숙제. homework. 숙제. 숙제. The next rule is take off your shoes when entering the school. Did you know that in South Korea, taking off your shoes is not only done in households? Students also take off their shoes in school. Once you enter the school building, you are required to take off your shoes and wear slipper, meaning slippers. 슬리퍼 or 실내화, meaning indoor shoes. 실내화. You can keep your shoes on 신발장 or the shoe cabinets found by the entrance of the school building. 신발장. This rule is imposed to make sure that the floor is clean at all times. If you have to wash your slipper or 실내화 at home and you couldn't wear it, expect to lose some points for not following the school rule. The choice of the slipper or indoor shoe design or model varies depending on the school, so it's better for you to wait until the school announces which model and design you need to wear. To make sure that you are purchasing the right kind of indoor shoes, drop by the 문방구 or the stationery store, which is just outside the school. 문방구. Here is a vocabulary list you can practice pronouncing at home. 슬리퍼, slippers. 슬리퍼, 슬리퍼. 실내화, indoor shoes. 실내화, 실내화. 신발장, shoes cabinet. 신발장, 신발장. 문방구, stationery store. 문방구, 문방구. A synonym is 문방구점. 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 Next is teachers and 선도부 will stand at the doorway to check your uniform. Every time you enter the school door, there will be about 5 to 6 students and a teacher who will check you out from head to toe. This is to make sure that you are wearing their uniform the right way. I know it can get a little uncomfortable for you, but that's the rule in Korean schools. The teacher who does this is 체육 선생님 or a physical education teacher. 체육 선생님 and called 학주. 학주. Short for 학생 주임. 학생 주임. On the other hand, the students who are assigned to this are either 반장, meaning class president, 반장, or 부반장, meaning class vice president, from the final year of school, 부반장. Since they are known as the top students and called 선도부, 선도부, or 바른생활부, meaning leading group literally. 바른 생활부, which is similar to a student council. Other students highly respect them. These are the things the students and the teacher will check from you. That you are not wearing any accessory or accessories. accessory, including invisible plastic earrings. That you are not wearing any 화장 or makeup. 화장, including whitening sunscreen. That you are wearing a hairstyle that's in line with the school rules. That the length of your skirt is below your knees if you are a girl. However, not all schools follow the same rules, and others are even stricter, especially if you go to an only girls or boys school. Neglecting the school rules will cause you to lose points, and it can affect your final score at the end of the semester or year. If you do the following things, you will be more likely to lose points. If you wear earrings, piercings, bracelets, and so on, -5 points. If you are not wearing your name tag, -3 points. If you wear makeup, -5 points. And the list could go on. It's important that you know the things that can cause you to lose points so you can avoid it, although points differ depending on the school. It's always best to follow the rules. Some teachers will make their students run the 운동장 or schoolyard. 운동장. A certain number of times to punish students who do not do well during the final exams instead of make them lose points. Are you ready for some pronunciation practice? Let's try this. 선배, one senior in school. Senior. 선배, 선배. 체육 선생님, physical education teacher. 체육 선생님, 체육 선생님. 액세서리, accessories. 액세서리, 액세서리. Next is, your height matters when it comes to choosing a seat. The number of students in every class depends on which city you're from and ranges from 15 to 35 students. In order to have proper seating arrangements, students are allowed to sit anywhere. But your height must first be considered. Each student will be sitting in their height order, so those who are shorter will sit in the front, and taller students will sit in the last row. Korean classrooms also have a personal 출석 번호, meaning attendance number, throughout the year, and this is done by height order as well. 출석 번호. For example, if there are 35 students in your class and you're the shortest, then your number will be 1번, meaning number 1. 1번. And if you are the tallest, your personal number will be 35번, meaning number 35. 35번. You must remember your person number because teachers call you by either your name or your personal number. For example, let's say you're in a 수학 교실 or math class. 수학 교실. And the teacher wrote down 2 mathematical equations to be solved by students. If today is 8월 15일, meaning August 15th, 8월 15일, who will most likely go to the front and solve the questions? That's right, the 2 students whose person numbers are number 8 and 15. Also, the teacher may order students to do something, such as cleaning or other tasks, by 짝수, 짝수, or even numbers, and 홀수, or odd numbers as well, 홀수.
Therefore, having your personal number is very important at school. You will also receive a different number every year, so make sure you keep that in mind. Here is a vocabulary list you will surely find useful in a Korean school. 수학, math. 수학. 교실, class. 교실. 8월 15일, August 15th. 8월 15일. 8월 15일. 짝수, even numbers. 짝수. 짝수. 홀수, odd numbers. 홀수. 홀수. Next is no dating your schoolmate. Schools in South Korea believe that dating in school will affect students' study. That's why they disallow students to date their schoolmates. For students attending only girls or boys' high school, this won't be a problem. But if you attend co-schools, you will need to be extra careful not to get caught. It's a serious issue if you date your schoolmate and could result in 징계, meaning disciplinary punishment. 징계. Or 퇴학, meaning expelled from school. 퇴학. 81% of middle and high schools don't allow students to date anyone in South Korea. Unfortunately, dating in school is perceived as unethical behavior. Schools even reward students who report other students dating their schoolmates secretly. Another big issue that came out in 2011 was when a school surveyed the students to report same-sex dating. Here are more terms used in Korean schools. 학교, school. 학교, 학교. 연애, dating. 연애, 연애. 징계, disciplinary punishment. 징계, 징계. 퇴학, expelled from school. 퇴학, 퇴학. Next is, you need permission to go to the bathroom and must take your own sanitary products. You need to ask permission from a 선생님 or teacher. 선생님. If you want to go to the 화장실 or bathroom. 화장실. You will have to raise your hand to let the teacher know and ask whether you can go to the bathroom. Unless you're in the middle of an exam, most of the time the teachers will let you go to the bathroom. You can ask your teacher this way. 선생님, 화장실 가도 돼요? Which means, Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? 선생님, 화장실 가도 돼요? South Korean schools do not have 휴지 or toilet paper. 휴지. So make sure you bring your own sanitary essentials. If you ever forgot to bring toilet paper, try looking in your classroom since Koreans also use toilet paper for wiping the dirt of the desk, or for blowing their nose, or for other purposes. Here is some vocabulary you will find useful when going to the bathroom. 화장실, bathroom. 화장실, 화장실. 선생님, teacher. 선생님, 선생님. 휴지, tissue. 휴지, 휴지. A synonym is 두루마리 휴지, meaning toilet paper. 두루마리 휴지, 두루마리 휴지. Next is bonus rules, an old rule and additional rules. Did you know that Korean students are used to bowing their heads to a teacher every class? It's no longer allowed today though. Students were also expected to sit and prepare a textbook and a notebook on their desks before class. South Korean students have their own classroom for themselves, and the teachers are the ones who move around. As you can see, it's very different from other countries. Back in the day, when a teacher arrived to a classroom, 반장 or class president, 반장, would stand and say 차렷, meaning attention, loudly so everyone could hear. 차렷. Then the class president will either say 인사, meaning greet, 인사, or 경례, meaning salute, 경례, 경례. Then everyone had to say 선생님 안녕하십니까, meaning hello teacher before the class. 선생님 안녕하십니까, and 선생님 안녕히 가십시오, goodbye teacher after the class. 선생님 안녕히 가십시오. This has been banned recently because people believe that this was too conservative and it doesn't help a teacher and the students establish a good relationship. Another rule South Korean schools follow is not allowing students to alter the length of their skirts or the width of their pants. 치마 길이, or the length of skirt, has to cover half the knee. 치마 길이. If it's shorter than this, you will get in trouble. However, this really depends on the school. These days, students can alter their school uniforms to suit their body shape. You must also wear what the school tells you to. In South Korea, there are 3 ways to wear your school uniforms. The default school uniforms are 동복, 동복, or winter uniform, and 하복, summer uniform, 하복. In between, there is 춘추복, or spring-autumn uniform, 춘추복. Normally, each uniform has its set duration, so even though the weather becomes extremely hot, if you're in the period of wearing 동복 or winter uniform, you have to wear the winter uniform, 동복. One more rule students follow in South Korea is regarding the students' hairstyle. The school will decide which hairstyle to do. However, nowadays, students are allowed to do many different hairstyles. Girls can dye their hair, curl their hair, and untie their hair. Compare this to the old times when every girl had to have short hair, which must not grow longer than 3 cm below their ears. Boys, on the other hand, can now grow their hair longer than they could a few decades ago, when every boy had to shave their hair completely. This rule also depends on which school you go to. Some conservative schools still follow the traditional way of hairstyle. 두발 자유화 is something that Korean students are fighting for because they believe that free hairstyle allows them to express themselves. This has been an ongoing debate today. 두발 자유화. Some schools still follow the traditional ways of disciplining students, which can be a problem for some students. Although the majority of Koreans have naturally black hair, there are some exceptions. There are people with naturally brunette and even light brown, almost blonde hair. Others have naturally curly hair. I know what you are thinking. It's sad that these students will have to abide by the rule by straightening their hair or dyeing it black, although they were born this way.
Here are some interesting vocabulary words you can practice. 반장, class president. 반장, 반장. 선생님, 안녕하십니까? Hello, teacher. 선생님, 안녕하십니까? 선생님, 안녕하십니까? 선생님, 안녕히 가십시오. Goodbye, teacher. 선생님, 안녕히 가십시오. 선생님, 안녕히 가십시오. 치마 길이, the length of skirt. 치마 길이, 치마 길이. 동복, winter uniform. 동복, 동복. 하복, summer uniform. 하복, 하복. 춘추복, spring autumn uniform. 춘추복, 춘추복. 두발 자유화, liberalization of the hair code. 두발 자유화, 두발 자유화. Next is, nevertheless, we are getting better. As the years pass by, some rules were changed. Students don't go to school on Saturdays anymore since 2000. 야자, on the other hand, used to be mandatory for everyone in middle and high school. But now, students can decide whether they want to attend it or not. 야자. Students' hairstyles were limited to, and students with brunette hair had to dye it black, just because it was school rule. But this doesn't apply to schools anymore. There's no longer corporal punishment today as well. Do you think it's a good thing that they changed the rules? I'd love to know what you think about this. In this lesson, you learned the different school rules in Korea. Although some are understandable, some are just a little too hard for most students. However, you also learned that most of these rules have been changed and are no longer followed today. If you just got enrolled in a Korean school, you are one of the lucky ones who no longer has to follow the strict rules of the past. That's it for today. See you next time. 다음에 또 봐요.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.